Hello everyone, welcome back. Today the topic that we are going to discuss is means of spread. So let's begin our lecture. A means of spread means whatever infectious disease we are talking about, or we have talked about, how they spread from infected person to a healthy person. What are different causes of this spread that we are going to study. Now first major cause is through air. That is, now this means of spread may be direct through direct contact or indirect contact. So first major cause is by air. Now germs, bacteria, viruses, they reside in dirty places. Now when wind blow over these dirty places, they take away these germs and bacteria with it, and the form of spores they remain in air. And if they found some exposed surface, they get sit over there and person may get infected. Other way is when infected by infected person droplet. So if a person who is infected, if he coughs or talk, then droplet from his or her mouth just coming out may contain virus and bacteria, and if a healthy person inhale it, he may get infected. Common examples is common cold and tuberculosis. Another major cause is by water. We are consuming infected water. Now how this water is getting infected? So many a times if human excreta get mixed with water, it infect this water, and if you consume this water, you may infect with diseases. Common examples of these diseases or waterborne diseases are cholera, typhoid. So though you're even if you're using filter at your home, if food that you are buying from outside, if it is prepared by this contaminated water, then there are chances that you may also get infected. So you have to be very careful while buying food from outside. Third cause is by vectors. Now, what are vectors? Vectors are animals and insects that carry these infectious agents. Like they carry these pathogens, like mosquito, housefly, cockroaches, dogs. Now, when a mosquito bite you, and if they carry this bacterial virus of malaria and dengue, then you may get infected by that. Fourth cause is by sexual contact. So if an infected person sexually contacts with a healthy person, he or she may transmit this disease to a healthy one. And by infected blood transmission, by using infected syringe also, there are chances of getting infected. So if a mother is pregnant and if she is infected, then she may transfer this viruses or bacteria to her baby also by breastfeeding or during pregnancy. Examples are AIDS and syphilis. Then by fomites. Fomites are objects that carry these infectious agents. Vectors are living organisms. Fomites are non-living, like plastic, cardboard, brushes. They carry these agents. So directly they are not the agent, but they carry this agent. You may heard that nowadays that whatever you are buying from outside, whatever plastic bag you are buying from outside, or for anything you're using those plastic bags, whether it is of plastic bag you're carrying for vegetables or milk, you should wash it carefully before using it, and you have to wash it with alcohol or sanitizer. Why? Because research says that on this plastic virus stays for 9 to 10 days. So if case you are not using it very carefully, you may get that virus and get infected. Same thing for cardboard and brushes, though this duration of viruses over these different objects is different. So while using them, you have to be very careful. So we have 5 major means of spread here. One is by air, by water, by vectors, by sexual contact, and by fomites. Now the way by which these microorganisms, they infect our body depends on their entry. Like if they are entering into your body through mouth or lungs, then there are chances that they may affect your mouth or nose, sorry, there are chances that they may affect your lungs. But this is not always the case. Like if you see of malaria. Now, when mosquito bites you, this bacteria, it goes to your liver, and then it infects your red blood cells. So there are different ways or different target of different bacteria and viruses. As I told you, bacteria and viruses, they are very different from each other. Bacteria is 50 times larger than virus, and the way they attack human body is also entirely different. And that's why whatever antibiotic or or medicine that you're using for bacteria, you cannot treat virus with that. Okay, bacteria, it can reproduce by itself, whereas virus, as such, they are non-living, and they need host cell to reproduce. So we'll show you two videos that will tell you difference between the way this bacteria and virus attack our body, and that will also tell you why it is difficult to produce vaccination for viruses than as compared to bacteria. Okay. So this is a video of bacteria. It reproduces by binary fission, you can see, and it reproduces very quickly by this binary fission in your body. It doesn't need host cell. So you have very cluster of this type of bacteria. Okay, so once it is in your body, it will start by binary fission. It will start multiplying like this. But in case of virus, this is not the case. So here they are not using your cell machinery. They are reproducing by themselves. And these bacteria, they have cell wall. Okay. Now, whatever medicine is used for treating bacterial infection, they contain such a chemical that inhibits this cell wall or break this cell wall, and you get treated. But in case of virus, there is nothing like cell wall. Virus is entirely different than this bacteria. This is virus. When an infected person is coughing or choking, this virus goes through nose or mouth to the healthy person. See here, this virus, the outer part that you see as a spikes are proteins. Inside you have RNA or DNA that depend on different viruses. Different viruses, they have different type of structure. Now this virus attack to your cell, and it get attached to the cell through this receptor. Once it is attached, this virus, it will enter in the cell of your body, and once it is inside the cell, it will start spreading out its RNA. So you see strands coming out, they are RNA. It will start hijacking your body machinery, cell machinery, and it will get starting multiplying itself with the help of endoplasmic reticulum. This is endoplasmic reticulum. It will make protein, and then with the help of Golgi bodies, it will go out of your body to infect other cell. And the same cell, it keeps on multiplying, and in the end, it will burst out this cell like nothing. So you see how this virus affect your body. While making medicines of virus, the scientists or doctors, they have to be very careful, because virus use your body cells to reproduce. So when you are making any vaccination or medicine, so you have to see effect that it is not affecting your host cell, your body cell. That's why it takes time to make vaccination for viruses. So this is end of the topic 3. Hope you understand this topic. If you have any difficulty, please contact me. Thank you.